Hello, Wiki Peeps. And welcome to the newest installment of WikiTree LiveCast. I'm Mags Golden, and I am joined today by Peter Roberts, our DNA guru extraordinaire, and also by our DNA project coordinator, Emma Macbeth, and Julie Ricketts. So everybody say hi or wave. We have Kitty Cooper on the schedule for today. I know that she's been a bit under the weather, so we're not sure if she's going to be here today or not, but we have our beautiful, wonderful Peter in his beautiful orange WikiTree leader shirt and his beautiful WikiTree, not WikiTree, but a DNA tie. So that's always a cool thing to see from Peter, is that he has a cool tie. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Great.
Julie?
I'm doing great too.
All right. So we're going to go right to things because we have a ton of slides for this week. We're covering our DNA features on WikiTree, and the slides are going to go pretty quickly, I hope. And let me just coordinate a couple of things here. All right. And here we go. And I want to introduce you to the DNA features on WikiTree. WikiTree is a global family tree and can include living relatives for your ancestors, all of our ancestors, not just yours, not just mine, all of them.
WikiTree does not offer DNA testing. We don't host DNA test results. You don't upload your DNA to WikiTree.
Or your raw data to WikiTree.
No raw data. We at WikiTree focus on what we do best, genealogical collaboration.
We specialize in helping you share and collaborate with your matches. We also approach things from the opposite direction from most everybody else.
Which means we connect distant cousins who might be matches so that they can compare test results.
And it's an incredible thing, and that is like the best thing on WikiTree. So add your DNA test, and you'll get this spiffy DNA tested badge.
So DNA features on WikiTree that help you get more out of the test for your own genealogy and help our shared mission to connect the human family tree on one free genealogically correct tree.
So what's on your DNA wish list? Now, and this is for Kitty Cooper. This is from her blog, Kitty Cooper's blog. And she says, and this is paraphrasing, I want a field in my genealogy program where I can put simple DNA information like haplogroups, where the person tested, and the GED match, as well as the Y-search and mitosearch IDs, and see whom you might have gotten your X-DNA from, as well as your Y and your mitochondrial DNA through your ancestral lines. Another feature, a person's profile page that shows the tests of relatives that are related by DNA. And here is Kitty Cooper's mother's profile page. And you can see she kind of got her wish. Here are all of her connections to her mother. And WikiTree does that. We take the test information that members enter, and that's the test information, not raw data. We take the test information members enter, and then WikiTree auto-populates all the profiles in the members line with their DNA test information.
How can you find a list of WikiTree's DNA features? Well, Google it.
You got DNA features, DNA features. You go to the DNA project on WikiTree that has a link to the DNA help page, which has also a link to the how to get started with DNA on WikiTree. Or you can type the address right into your browser, and here are the addresses. Now I'm going to say here that once we're done today, we're going to be posting these slides to the LiveCast page on WikiTree, and they will also appear in the multimedia projects presentations area. I think you can get to those two things pretty easily on WikiTree. And if you can't, just Google DNA features WikiTree LiveCast, and you will find it. So DNA features on WikiTree. How do you find those features on WikiTree? You can go to the category page and click category DNA. And on that page, you'll find the DNA features listed. And you can also go to the breadcrumb. All of the DNA project pages that are help pages have breadcrumbs on them. So you'll see over to the right in the green box, how to get started with DNA. If you follow that breadcrumb back to the how to get started with DNA page, then you will see the DNA features listed. Emma?
Sorry, they were saying I was echoing.
Oh.
And you are.
But I don't think it's coming from me.
I don't hear her echoing.
Okay, DNA confirmation. This is such a big and important feature that we've devoted an entire livecast to it. Woohoo!
Yes, so check the livecast schedule and you'll see that that is coming up soon, actually next week. One of the best DNA features on WikiTree is recording tests, the test details page. Now, the test details page is interesting. The test detail pages cover your Y chromosome and your mitochondrial DNA test and show the earliest known ancestors' direct line in the paternal-maternal line. They also show living people who share the same Y chromosome or mitochondrial DNA. They link to the DNA ancestors and to your DNA descendants views for each individual, and include direct relationship finder links to show the relationship between the test taker and the listed person. And these details pages are updated every day. So if someone adds new people or new information or new test information to WikiTree that impacts your DNA test details page, it will show up. It'll get auto-populated.
You're going to
How to find your test. How to find your test details page. You can go to your profile page and look for your WikiTree ID drop-down menu and click on it. Then click on DNA, scroll down and click onto DNA. Then at the tabs at the top of the DNA Ancestors view for you, click on DNA Test tab and then click on DNA Tests, and you will get to this page, to the list page. At the bottom of the page, you're going to see a test details URL with a link, and it's written kind of small, so it's kind of hard to identify. This is something that I think should have a big orange button somewhere that says test details page that you could find easily. I think it's kind of a hard thing to find, but you'll find it. Here is the URL for those, and you would click on that. You could find that. And here is, Emma, here is the
details.
For my family tree DNA family finder test details and connections. Here's the page. And again, those pages are updated every day, and new discoveries are made by you or others. That information is automatically updated. You see over to the right, I've got my GEDmatch numbers listed there. And one thing you could do, if you have your GEDmatch or your MinerSearch or your YSearch IDs listed in your test information, make sure you have the right numbers in there. There are quite a few people on WikiTree who have those numbers listed, but they are not real numbers. They're the wrong numbers. And we just want to make sure you get the right numbers, because there's some integration that goes on with WikiTree and GEDmatch and with 23andMe here recently, that we would like to make sure that all of that information goes correctly.
So Mags, I want to clarify.
Yeah.
This is a list of everybody on your ancestor pages that have filtered up that are related to you and have DNA on their profiles. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
That's an awesome list.
Isn't it? Oh, I've got the whole list coming up. Stay tuned.
Okay. DNA test connections on relevant profiles. When you record that you've taken a test, we automatically connect this fact to profiles on WikiTree where your test may be useful for confirming or rejecting relationships. This encourages others, including distant cousins, who find these profiles through Google searches to compare results or get tested.
And it doesn't have to be just a Google search. It could be a Bing search or any other of the search engines. If you find distant cousins and you find their profiles on WikiTree, then you may be able to find that information. WikiTree takes the information and auto-populates it. And again, this is Kitty Munson Cooper's DNA test information. And the other people in her line who match her mom.
DNA test connections on relevant profiles. Autosomal DNA tests. If you've taken a 23andMe, Ancestry DNA, Family Tree DNA, Family Finder, or MyHeritage DNA test, we connect this fact to all your blood relatives out to 8 degrees of separation, as she had just shown.
And how you can find your DNA ancestors page. You go to your Family Tree and Genealogy Tools, or anyone's Family Tree and Genealogy Tools that has their DNA information, their test information entered, and have their privacy set to private with a public family tree. And then you could go to, after you click on the tab, go down here to DNA Ancestors and click on the link, and then you'll get here. Family Tree and Tools, and it'll show you your pedigree or your whole family tree. I'm going to go back to that real quick. Emma was enjoying looking at it, at this tree earlier, and you can see my beautiful mom and my beautiful grandmother, and my handsome grandfather.
Your nice full tree.
My nice full tree. DNA test connection.
Oh, go ahead.
Connections on relevant profiles. Y chromosome DNA test. If a male on WikiTree has added Y chromosome DNA test information, we go all the way up to the direct maternal line, father to father, to find the test taker's earliest known paternal grandfather. All male descendants, starting with this earliest known paternal grandfather, are identified. And here I've got Peter Roberts. I've got Peter's male line, Y-DNA line, shown in his ancestors, his Family Tree and Tools tree. I just cut out all of the other people just so you could see the Y line. WikiTree doesn't actually have this that shows up as a separate separate screen.
It does have a Y-DNA ancestors page.
Right.
There is.
Emma, you want to go to the next?
I just lost the screen. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Sorry.
DNA test connections on relevant profiles. Mitochondrial DNA tests. You keep switching the screen on me.
Sorry about that.
If a male or female on WikiTree has taken a mitochondrial DNA test, we will go up the direct maternal line, mother to mother, to find the test taker's earliest known maternal grandmother. We then include all the children, male and female, of its earliest known direct line maternal grandmother. Then we take the daughters gathered in the previous step and add all her children, male and female, and we repeat this down through all the generations to identify all the descendants. And that's an incredible help.
It is. And we'll go on to the next page, and you'll see my line. I took the female line down through to my, that's my great-great-grandmother, and I actually go back to my fourth great-grandmother in the line. And I have two parts of a triangulation to prove that my fourth great-grandmother is my fourth great-grandmother. And I'm waiting to see if I've got a possible third leg for that triangulation, but I haven't got that yet. But you see how the female line follows through the mother's line. And Emma, DNA test connections on relevant profiles, X-DNA information, which is tricky. If you have taken an autosomal DNA test, we will show the percentage on average of a person's X chromosome inherited from specific ancestors. Now, the pattern of X chromosome inheritance can be a little bit confusing for everyone, not just anyone, but for everyone. For an individual, the actual percentage of DNA inheritance that shows up on the next pages is from specific ancestors beyond parents or grandparents. It's rarely close to the average. So this is just an average view of that. And this shows how the X-DNA is inherited by a female. You can see that I get my X this way, and you see all the people that I could get X from. And then here is the X chromosome, or a partial X chromosome list, showing the percentages of how much that I would get. So from my third great grandmother, Eliza Donnan, I would get 25%, maybe. Or if I go on up to Elizabeth Caulfield, in that same line, going up from my grandmother, I might get 6.25% from her. Going on down, and my great-grandmother, Margaret Allen Compton, from her great-great-great Janet McNear, I might get 6.25 from her. Peter, do you want to talk to us about how the X-DNA is in your family?
I want to also point out something, is that the percentages aren't so very important. What's important is that the male does not pass his X chromosome to his son. That's the key point.
Right.
Because the people that could have contributed to my X chromosome,
right,
in the tree, you can see myself, and then you can see that I don't have an X next to the Y. I didn't get any X from my father. He didn't get any X from his mother, from his father. I didn't get any. I got my X from my mother, and she got an X from her father and her mother. It's just so that in the tree, there's never a case where a father gives an X to his son.
All right. So, and then the next page, we have some of Peter's X chromosome DNA list. And you see that his mother's line goes back to his fourth great grandmother, Elizabeth Drury Manning, and he would get possibly 12.5% from her, and then on down to 6.5 from others. So it's really interesting, and these pages are really great ways of finding. And if you go and you click on one of these names, you'll go to their page and be able to see. Did somebody have a comment?
I do.
Yeah,
go back
ahead
to that page.
Yep.
There is a web address for this page, and whenever you match someone on the X chromosome, you can email them this web address and say, do you have any of these people in your ancestry? You and I match on the X chromosome. These are the people who could have contributed to my X chromosome. Do you have any of these people in your ancestry?
It's very handy for finding matches and getting that done. Julie? Julie, we've lost your vocals there. It's a Google Hangout, isn't it? We're going to have to start tap dancing and singing until Julie gets mic back on. So there's a list of potential test takers at the DNA Descendants page. Every person on WikiTree also has one of these, and the pages are accessible through the Tree and Tools page or from the DNA page in the pull-down menu for the person, which we were covering a little bit earlier. And there also display descendants who have inherited ancestors' Y chromosome, mitochondrial DNA, and X chromosome. They can be handy when you're trying to find a living descendant who could be tested to confirm or reject the validity of a relationship. Emma? Oh, actually, and at this point, Peter had some slides that he wanted to share. And wait, let's take a break. Kitty Cooper, I believe, has just been able to join us. Yay! We're looking at Kitty Cooper. Kitty has been having computer issues. So she sent me a note just a few minutes ago to tell me that. And we're hoping that she's here. I don't know if she knows that we're here. Kitty, can you tilt your camera up? Yep, there you go. The other way. Keep going. Whoop. Yeah. Yeah. I got to put it on Kitty here. Kitty, we're looking at your laptop. We're not looking at you. Okay, while Kitty gets herself organized, Peter, you had some slides that you wanted to share as a part of this, and that was finding xDNA testers who may share xDNA. And I started off with this slide.
Okay, so do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh boy.
I'm going to stop sharing, and you can put up your screen. You ready to do that?
No, but I will be shortly.
All right. In the meantime, we'll continue to tell Kitty that we're looking at your desk and at your laptop's touchpad, I believe that is. And we can't hear you if you're talking to us. Anyway, Kitty has been saying that she has had some computer issues. Emma, have you found any interesting xDNA matches that you wanted to share?
No. X has been a tricky wicket for me to use. However, I did find a new DNA cousin. We think we are an X chromosome match on a particular line, and we are investigating right now.
Oh, cool.
I think I'm ready.
All right, Peter, you're up.
But I don't see the little button to share my screen.
Kitty, Julie, is your mic working? No, it's not working. If you would like to post your question, I'll ask it.
Okay, I'm presenting to everyone now. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
We can see you. We can't see your screen.
Okay, so I've got to figure out how to. I've done this before where I shared my screen. There was a little button that popped up that I could say share my screen. You are presenting to everyone.
And there's Kitty. Hello, Kitty Munson Cooper.
I'm doing it from my phone. Neither of my PCs are working for this. Don't know what the problem is. But something's come up. I'm only here for about 5 more minutes. I totally apologize.
Oh, no problem. And I also know that you have been a bit under the weather this week, so that's a good reason to. Yeah.
I'm just not with it anyway. My husband has demands on my limited time out of bed.
Wait. No, I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah,
I would.
Right.
I would, but
I didn't mean it the way it sounded.
Yeah. No, it's so great to have you drop by, Kitty, and you're such a great WikiTreeer. I saw that you posted a wonderful blog yesterday a couple of days ago, about people upgrading their privacy levels so that their DNA populates the entire tree. That was great to see.
Well, what I was interested in is a while ago I pointed out how GEDmatch was now linking to your WikiTree tree if you had your test kit number on your profile.
Right.
Some of that was when I clicked Wiki. Most of the time it said, oh, the privacy, you can't see it. So I filled with it a little while, and then I needed to explain to people that they need to make their tree public if they want to click from 23andMe or click from GEDmatch to see the tree.
On WikiTree.
Just
Let me ask you a question real quick. During
our
our 5 minutes that we have you out of bed, what brought you to WikiTree originally?
I really don't remember. I was evaluating, I think I was evaluating collaborative world trees for a blog post.
Yeah.
Or because I thought that was the way to go. And at that point, I think I was a fairly heavy Genie user.
Yes.
.com user.
Right.
And my brother was trying to get me to use Family Search more. But that may not be it. I really can't. I mean, I've been on so long, I don't remember anymore. But, you know, WikiTree has some real advantages. A, the community. B, I can send my tree to people and they don't have to log in to be able to see it because I've set my tree to public.
Right.
And that's huge because the other trees you have to log in, and that's a real roadblock for some of these cousins I'm trying to work with to figure out our trees. So yeah, I've been said, and the cool, like the X pathway, they're just all these cool DNA features. So for those of us who are into DNA, it's great.
Kitty, I know that you probably know this already, but there's lots of really cool integration between Family Search and WikiTree as well. You can
send me a press release or something, and I'll blog about it.
All right. There's also GEDmatch and what you were mentioning, the 23, and we're going to go into that. We have a live cast coming up where we're going to be discussing WikiTree and how WikiTree is integrated to third-party sites like 23andMe, like Family Search, like GEDmatch, and how what you might be able to do to adjust on your WikiTree profile to make sure that the information you have up will actually get to actually allow the integration and the friendships that we have with these other third-party companies work. So stay tuned for those really coming up.
You've got the connection with Family Search. I do remember having tried to push for that at one point.
Yes, and we do. And she says that being able to push for that, and that's what happens at WikiTree. We're a community, and Kitty Munson Cooper and Mags Golden and Emma Macbeth, and we're all just part of the community. And if we want to see something happen or something exciting happen at WikiTree, we can push for it. We can do it ourselves, like Peter contacting the GEDmatch people and getting them to work on the integration that has come through. And that's a great idea Peter had. He ran with it and he made it happen. So, Kitty, it looks like we're looking at your. You're in your car. You're getting ready to leave. Does that mean we're done?
It means that I probably won't have the bandwidth to continue.
Okay. Well, Kitty, we'll go ahead and say bye to you now.
I'll see what happens. No, my husband is insisting I turn you off.
Okay. Bye.
Send me some stuff and I'll blog about it. I'm so happy you guys are doing all this stuff for us DNA people.
All right, Kitty.
I send people here all the time.
All right. It's great to have you. Thanks for dropping in.
I'm losing you. Sorry.
I think I figured out how to do screen share.
Great, Peter. Let's go on with you. So nice to have Kitty drop in for the short time that she was allotted for the day. Okay, Peter.
Okay. Can you see this? Can you see the X chromosome?
No, sir.
Oh, come on. So you don't see my screen?
No, sir.
Hang on. Let's see. You're seeing me?
Yes, we are.
Oh man. Okay.
Which is just as good.
Well, I clicked on the button that says, oh, here we go. Share application, share your screen, share. Okay, I got it. Get ready.
All right.
Here we go. You got it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yay!
So these are the people. This is one of my ancestors, and these are the people that ancestor could have contributed their X chromosome to. And so we go down. If I scroll down, I can see that Sherry took an autosomal test, and autosomal test includes the X DNA information, the results, and I can see who else of her descendants who could have inherited her X chromosome, who has also taken an autosomal test which includes the X. And I can see Jack here, Jack Sawyer, may have X DNA from that ancestor, and Lana may have X DNA from that ancestor, and Susan may have X DNA from that ancestor, and then also Betty, my aunt, she may have X DNA. So these are all the people that could have inherited one of my ancestors' X DNA, and I can see which ones could have inherited and which ones have taken an autosomal test like Family Finder, 23andMe, or Ancestry DNA, or My DNA Heritage, which all include X DNA information. And if the information is uploaded to GEDmatch, that's where you can do the X chromosome comparisons between all the labs, the compatible labs.
Right.
Max, people are asking where to find the screen.
Okay, I'm going to go back. Okay.
Great.
So we're going to go out. Okay, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at me first. Okay. And then we go and we look at compact tree for Peter. Compact tree for Peter Roberts. This is my compact tree. Here is Elizabeth Pinder in my compact tree. What Elizabeth Pinder had an X chromosome, and her descendants inherited it. I'm going to click on her, and then if I go up to her drop-down menu and I go to DNA, and then I can click on DNA descendants. Click on this button. And this takes, when I click here, it takes a little while sometimes. And then I click on X chromosome. And then these are the people, these are the people that could have inherited her X DNA, and they've taken a DNA test.
So Peter, on that page, if you were to click on one of the people and you go to their profile page, is there a way to see on their profile page who might have done the X DNA or have the X DNA on their profile?
I'm going to click on Jack.
Okay.
Okay. And this is Jack's page. These are the people that Jack shares. Right in here these are the people that Jack shares autosomal DNA with.
Right.
He does not share X DNA with all these people. But if we go back, let's go back. Hang on. Where's my back key? Dang it. Okay. Okay. These are the people that he could have inherited X DNA from that particular ancestor. But he's got X DNA from other ancestors also. Does that make sense? I mean,
that
these
does
are the,
make sense. So
I can click on him and I can see who else shares his autosomal DNA.
Right.
Over here on the right. But it's not telling me the other. Okay, I think I do know how to answer your question. I'm going to go back again, and I'm going to click on Jack, and then I'm going to look at his DNA. Click on that. Click. Come on. Going very slowly. Well, I don't know why.
Running the treadmill in his computer.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. And then I can click on X chromosome here, DNA ancestors.
Right.
These are all the ancestors who could have contributed to Jack's X DNA.
And all of those are that X chromosome is a tab across the top of that test page, the testers, the DNA descendants page for Jack.
I'm not following you.
It's the same place that we were to look at yours.
Yeah, so like another ancestor that could have contributed to Jack's X chromosome is Eleanor Archer here. I'm going to click
Right.
on her. And then I can click on her DNA descendants here, and then click on X chromosome. And then these are the people here who could have inherited DNA from what is this lady's name? This is Eleanor Archer.
Right.
Archer. And these are the people who could have inherited Eleanor Archer's XDNA. Jack
Right.
here, Lana again, Susan Higgs, she wasn't on that other list, and Betty was on the other list too. So there is a lot of these people have shared ancestry because they're from an endogamous group.
And yeah, and we can go into endogamy. It means that a small group or a community or a village or an area geographically kind of locked in or not locked in, or church groups.
Cousins marrying each other.
That's what endogamy kind of means. I also want to say that if you have an autosomal test from Family Tree DNA, you will also get XDNA information from that test, which you can upload. And Peter touched on this. You can upload that XDNA information when you upload your autosomal raw data.
It automatically gets uploaded. When you upload autosomal, you don't even know it sometimes, but you're uploading XDNA. Whoa, what happened?
Right. So if you've got an autosomal, except for Ancestry does not provide XDNA information.
Ancestry DNA does, not to their customers,
right?
But XDNA, Ancestry DNA, if they upload it to GEDmatch, then their XDNA is available for searching other cousins, for finding other cousins.
Right. Did you have something you wanted to interject, Emma, from the chat?
Or if we're at a stopping point, there is a big question that has come up that maybe Peter can help us with.
Okay.
A couple of people have said they're a little bit concerned about the whole privacy issue, because one person says when they Google their dad's haplogroup, which is listed on WikiTree, his entire name comes up in the search and he's marked as private with public tree. She's concerned about the fact that it's coming up in Google.
I would say, I wasn't quite aware of that, but what I would say is that they should change their father's name, use the first initial of their father's first name, or change their father's name to anonymous.
And that is just anonymizing the name.
I would say if you don't want anyone to know what your haplogroup is for part of your family, then don't put it up on the web. There's no big deal about someone's haplogroup. There's no, as far as I'm concerned, there's no big deal about the genealogical information that we're able to get from the DNA tests that we're doing. They're not medical tests. It's quite different. You're not giving away anything, except it's a powerful tool for finding relatives and confirming that your ancestry is accurate.
Right. And it's there in case someone else matches him. They'll be able to find him, and having your surname on that information is a help, because if you're searching for people who have matching DNA who share a surname, then it's just a little bit extra help to have the surname there and put a first initial or anonymous. But you can anonymize his name even further if you need to, if you feel that the privacy issues are there. You could even make his tree private, where you could only entertain private messages for inquiries about his information.
I would go as far as to say it really is not very helpful if you're very private. I don't think it's very helpful to have your DNA information up on the. I don't think your DNA information should be in WikiTree if you want to be private. I think you need to have your tree to be public in order for other matching relatives to see how you share DNA.
So what Peter's saying is that if you have your tree, if you have your DNA up and you don't feel that you can share it, it kind of defeats the purpose of having it on WikiTree.
If it's private. If
Right.
you've got your settings to private, there's really no point in having your DNA information up in WikiTree.
All right, moving on. Thank you very much, Peter. And Peter, jump in if you have questions or information regarding anything. Another WikiTree DNA feature is DNA test connections for surnames. WikiTree automatically creates an index for everyone who shares a given last name at birth and is connected to any DNA test on WikiTree, which goes back to what we were just saying about being able to see DNA information based on the surname. Emma?
Okay, these are most directly helpful for Y chromosome tests. You can limit the display to just Y DNA. Surname project administrators can use these as recruiting tools. If someone has taken a mitochondrial or autosomal test but has a surname in their family, they may well be interested in participating or finding someone in their family who can take a Y chromosome test. To access all the DNA surname connections pages for the 8 surnames of your great-grandparents, click the surnames link in your My WikiTree pull-down menu.
And there is how to do that. Go to My WikiTree pull-down menu, scroll down to surnames, and you'll get your surname navigation page. I just happen to pull up my Templetons here. Then I highlight or I click on the Templeton DNA connections, and it pulls up all of the Templetons on WikiTree who have DNA connections. And over to the right, you'll see a list of test takers. These are people who have done testing, who have a DNA surname connection and have uploaded or not uploaded, who have added their test information to WikiTree. You don't upload anything to WikiTree. You just add the information. I got to say that. Emma?
Illustrations of DNA inheritance. Every person on WikiTree has a DNA ancestors page that you can see if their tree is public or if you're on the trusted list. They are accessible through the person's tree and tools page.
And there's the tab to my profile with all the other stuff cut out of it, showing the family tree and genealogy tools tab. Then you can click on the DNA ancestors link, and you will get the DNA ancestors view for you or for whoever it is you're looking at. And then there are illustrations of DNA inheritance, DNA ancestors page. And you can also get to them from the DNA link on the pull-down menu for the person. So here is my pull-down menu for my WikiTree ID. And then you go down to DNA and click it, and you'll get my ancestors view. Then you click on DNA ancestors, and it will take you to those pages. Emma?
Illustrations of DNA inheritance some more. These pages show the ancestors from whom a person has inherited their mitochondrial DNA and their Y chromosome if they're male. It also shows the percentage on average of a person's X chromosome inherited from specific ancestors.
And here we have the DNA ancestor view for me. And there we have the list. Those were the lists. I said we'd show the full list later. A mitochondrial, you can see it goes back to an unknown, my 4th great-grandmother, or 5th great-grandmother. And then the X chromosome, we had the full list up a minute ago, showing all of those. We also have DNA inheritance widgets for bloggers and webmasters. Now, this is for people who have a blog or who have a website up where you have special widgets that can be embedded where someone can click the widget and see some of the features that WikiTree has, like a widget of showing overall DNA inheritance. There's also a widget illustrating Y chromosome ancestral line and a widget illustrating mitochondrial ancestral line. I'm not going to show you those widgets right here, right now. Those are really a kind of a higher level thing. But if you have a family website, check those out. And they can be accessed through the Family Tree and Tools link on the pull-down menu for any person with a public family tree, and then the WikiTree tools and tree widgets. You just click on that and you can go and look at it. You can grab that information and embed it in your site or blog.
Cool feature.
And we were talking about bright ideas. We have a section in our project called Bright Ideas. And Peter sent me a whole list of things. And I don't have that posted, Peter. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to have another live cast, because we're about out of time for the slides portion, and talk about some of the bright ideas we have coming up. And I have one of my hopefully big wish lists is to integrate fan charts into WikiTree, which we do. We do that. We can do that. We integrate it with a company called TreeSeek. And it's partially implemented. Right now, it will do your deep ancestry, but it won't do from you back unless you have your privacy level at open. And we need to have somebody who's good at writing an API, which is a program to interact with WikiTree to be able to pull that private information and do a print for someone who requests it. So when that gets done, my big goal is to have a feature that would populate a fan chart with probability ranges for autosomal DNA inheritance based on known DNA matches, which goes along with some of the stuff that Peter's really interested in being able to do segment views from WikiTree to GEDmatch. And if we can do that, we'll be able to make this fan chart, and it'll show the chromosome number and the segment overlaps. And before that, having a fan chart that will possibly show the autosomal DNA inheritance, the X DNA inheritance, and the mitochondrial DNA inheritance, and the Y DNA inheritance on a fan chart. I think that would be really cool to do. And the next bright idea was one of Peter's. And Peter, do you want to talk about this one?
Okay, let me just read it. I wasn't aware of this. In the future, we hope to automatically alert members when haplogroups that should match conflict. The automatic detection of haplogroup conflict will be difficult for the foreseeable future. What I've been wondering about is with haplogroups, because the thing is that over time and by different labs, haplogroups have been given different labels. But with our tags, we do say what we know our haplogroup labeled to be, or we know what our SNP is. We know what our mitochondrial DNA, how that's reported by the lab. It would be nice if there was some way of using the information that we know in terms of that. Let's say my mitochondrial haplogroup is H1B3. I would like to know who else in WikiTree has that same mitochondrial DNA haplogroup. And if I have the same tag, right now I think you can click on the same tag and see who else has tagged that. But the nice thing would be if it was automatic, is that whatever you say that your haplogroup is, then it's automatic that it gets tagged or that it gets categorized so that you automatically see who else has your haplogroup. The important thing to remember is that a lot of the haplogroups that people are using, or a lot of the SNPs that people are using for Y DNA, a lot of them happened before over 2,000 years ago. And so just because you share the same haplogroup does not mean that you share recent ancestry with that person. And so it's not the best way to actually find shared ancestry always.
Right.
But people that do have shared ancestry on that particular line will have a shared haplogroup if they've labeled it correctly. Right.
And the information that shows up on your profile page gives you that. But I also pulled up, Peter, you can see your Y DNA test details and connections where you have that information. And it's a part of the wish list of what we could do. A lot of people have talked about doing categories for doing haplogroups, but they change so much that it wouldn't be easy to keep track of all the changes and enter those changes in for all the categories that are changing. And maybe your category doesn't change, but other people who are a part of that haplogroup, their information has changed because their SNPs have been tested further out.
Yeah.
So you might remain H where someone goes to H1B1, A236, whatever. So
this has been discussed in G2G. And
right.
Look at my Y chromosome haplogroup. It says that it's IZ59.
Right.
And, so I have the Z59 SNP. I know what the parent SNP is for Z59. I know what the descendants are. There is a discussion in G2G about if everyone was in a sense responsible for their SNP or their haplogroup and what the parent was and what the descendants are, then it could, in a sense, that's a quasi way of creating a hierarchy.
Right.
We'll always be linking to other people's others. Some people have the haplogroup that's my ancestor haplogroup, and so it would, in a sense, connect
right.
that way. In whether it's free space pages or if there's some way of making it actually categorized that way. But
yeah,
you can follow the discussion in G2G.
Right. Yeah. And thank you so much, Peter, for being here and helping us. Peter and I, when we get together at Roots Tech every year, we spend a lot of time talking about our wish lists. And so I think that coming up in the next LiveCast of his own, we're going to have a DNA wish list LiveCast. And maybe if you have some wish list ideas for WikiTree and you want to discuss some of those, we can have a WikiTree wish list LiveCast, and we can talk about some of the ideas you might have and how you might be able to get those implemented. So I want to tell you that WikiTree is lucky to have some professional geneticists and leaders in genetic genealogy participating in our community, such as the WikiTree DNA guru himself, Peter Roberts, Katie Munson-Cooper, Robert Estes, Blaine Bettinger are all WikiTreeers. We also have a lot of members, perhaps like yourself, who aren't experts but are learning and are willing to help each other learn. So if you have questions, come to our genealogist to genealogist, that's G2G forum, and ask whatever questions you might have. Be sure to tag your questions with DNA to make sure that the right people see it. Peter, I know, is incredibly active in G2G and answers a lot of our DNA-based questions. So does Kay Wilson, our other WikiTree leader, and Kitty Cooper-Smith, not Kitty Munson-Cooper, who was just here, but the WikiTree Kitty. You can also browse past discussions about DNA, and there's also a DNA frequently asked questions with Q&A on WikiTree's DNA features pages. If you consider yourself a bit more experienced and you'd like to get involved in helping others, check out our DNA project and check out some of our tasks and information. I will be posting the slides for this LiveCast, but you'll also see in the LiveCast slide at the end, there's a useful links list with a lot of the information that we've discussed today. We have probably some other questions to talk about. And we'll close out with our little bouncy DNA ball there, our globe. And Julie's just talking away and her mic is not working. Julie, we love you and we would love to hear what you're saying right now, but we can't. So 2 thumbs up. Emma, do we have any more information from our chat?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really. People are just chatting back and forth.
Did we invite them here to chat or did we invite them here to ask us questions?
Everybody says they love fan charts. Yay.
Yay. Yeah. Yeah. There's I don't know if it's a fan chart. It's a family tree that they always put up at Roots Tech that's literally half the size of the building. It's huge. I want to say we're not going to do a question of the week this week because I knew this would be really long. Tell you really quick about WikiTree's numbers for the week. We have 13,985,922 profiles edited by 422,009 genealogists, volunteers from around the world. And that's just huge. We have so many people. Our member of the week is B. Wima. She's leading the Dutch Members Project. If you go to wikitree.com, you'll see that information on the page. I also want to really quickly tell you that the numbers for the Saturday sorcerers well, they don't have the numbers quite up correctly. There's a pre-May number and a May number, so I'm not sure which numbers should read. I will tell you that the leader right now is Charlotte Shockey. Nope. John Noel is beating Charlotte Shockey at the Sorcerer's Challenge right now. That's cool.
I've got a stat to add.
What's that?
43,050 people have said that they've taken a DNA test for genealogy in WikiTree.
That's a good number to throw out there. Thanks, Peter. And this week's Grandma's Genes WikiTree tip is it's not a competition or a race to find our past. It's an honor to be shared. And collaboration is really the new paradigm in genealogy. So keep that in mind.
Quick question.
Quick question. Good.
Is WikiTree connecting to GEDmatch already?
Oh, yeah, we have been.
How? Because no one's seen it anywhere.
Okay. There was a press announcement about it when it happened. It came out in the WikiTree news. I've blogged about it. Kitty Munson Cooper has blogged about it. It's out there. And if you haven't seen it, if you go to GEDmatch and you have a tier 1 membership, that means that you are a tier 1 member. When you click the one-to-many matches or one-to-many, and it gives you the list, there's a column that says WikiTree. And if you go down and if you see a blue link there that says WikiTree, if you click on that link, it will take you to that person's WikiTree profile.
So you have to be on tier 1.
Yes, you have to have tier 1 right now. There may be a possibility that that's going to be shifted, but right now that's the way it is.
Okay.
There's other stuff.
I can demonstrate that if we got the time.
Sure, Peter.
Okay, hang on. I'll just keep talking, and I will.
We will keep talking. We also was that a chat question, Emma?
Yes.
Yes. Are there any other chat questions?
No, that was the big one.
Julie,
you
you were.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, what? Hang on. Share screen, and then can you see my screen? Oh no, I clicked the right way. Application window share. Come on, I lost my cursor. Okay.
Oh, those chipmunks ran away with Peter's cursor. There we go.
There it is.
Okay. So this is a tier 1. This is my aunt matching different people, and where it says Wiki down the aisle down here.
Yes.
These are all the people that have their tree.
Wow.
Sorry, just for a quick second, Peter.
Click on Stephen Pinder here. And click on his tree, and there I can see his tree in WikiTree.
There we go.
Very cool.
And so these people are matching my aunt. They're sharing autosomal DNA, and I can automatically see their tree.
See, it says Wiki, W-I-K-I.
And if their tree is in GEDmatch, then it's a GED tree.
And that's for their they have a GEDCOM.
Yeah, they have a GEDCOM uploaded to GEDmatch.
Right, right.
Yeah, but you can see all these people that are in WikiTree that have their trees already automatically in WikiTree. Here's an anonymous person. Well, Amy here, here's her tree in WikiTree. And she shares autosomal DNA with my aunt.
Cool.
Okay, so that's that.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who has joined us today. Really appreciate it. Peter, do you want to stop sharing your screen there?
I sure do. I want to figure out how to do that.
All right.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm going to take it off of you and put it back on me. And thank you, Kitty Munson Cooper, for dropping by. Thank you, Peter. It's always fun to have you around. And I'm looking forward to you being at the DNA confirmation live cast, which is coming up next Saturday. That should be a really, really interesting live cast. We're going to talk about triangulation, what makes up a triangulated group, how that triangulated group is going to match your ancestor and connect you to your ancestor and confirm that, not prove it, but confirm the paper trail that you've put together by using the DNA confirmation tool. We're going to talk about all ways that you can do DNA confirmation on WikiTree, and that'll be next Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, same place. I also want to tell you that we're very excited that Julie was here today, and that the DNA project coordinator, Emma Macbeth was here as well. Hopefully we'll get Kitty Smith and Kay Wilson in on another day, another live cast. And we're so glad that you're here, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.